Voss.
Parker wanted to wish his father happy Father's Day. Obviously, a great present would be a title right here.
Uh-oh.
It's not the way to start.
Well, this is that split a little bit we were talking about. It's the reverse of the right-hander. So what he can do is try to, after he gets it wide here, he leaves the 3, 6, 7, 9. And we saw the 2, 8, 10 by the right-handers. Basically, this is makeable. Throw the great big hook and hit the 3-pin very light. The 6 will deflect off the 9, and the 9 into the 7. No can do.
All right. Parker will have to accept that open. There's John Crum and his 2 grandsons, Alex and Drew.
Here's a man who would like to wish his son Cameron a happy birthday today, 5 years old, and my son Brett, the Axeman, is 12 years old today. Happy birthday, Brett.
Whoa.
Boy.
Oh, jeez.
What was that?
Good. This thing.
Well, Mark Ross, the only guy I've seen make it this year, Chris. As you see him double kiss
Bounce
the
it
10
out.
pin
Come on.
and bounce it out, and that's exactly what Voss is encouraging himself to do.
Bounce it out!
Carol Letty, our producer, just whispered in my ear and said, Mark Roth never misses. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. But one thing is certain here, Butch Soper, as I look at your score sheet, it's all even. I mean, what the heck? They both have 9 pins through 1 frame. Or they each have 9 pins, I should say. Okay, to start over.
Strikes in the sequence.
Look at this strike. Talk about a 1-3 pocket hit. And the reaction, you bet. There, you little devil. Well, 2-4-7 for the lefty from Jackson, New Jersey.
Come on, let it go.
Says, let it go.
Parker Bohn just not zeroed in. He hasn't seen a left-hander bowl since Ricky Ward. He's light, then high. Leaves it 2-4-7. He should make this and be right in the match.
Leading money winner this year. Okay, Bo.
Thank you, Chris. David, a great week and really a great season. What do you see happening out there? We saw so many strikes, and all of a sudden we see 2 guys floundering.
We see 2 great bowlers, first of all, Bo. I think if Brian stays focused and hits the left lane, I think he's going to be awful tough. But you never know with Parker. But for the right-hander, Brian Voss, it's going to be the whole, if he can figure out the left-hand lane, he's going to be the winner.
Okay, he's picked his partner and his buddy, Brian Voss. Parker Bohn is very tough. Back to you, Chris. 8 frames left.
Okay.
That's better. Hit it!
Oh, no.
Okay, Parker. Sure was better. Coming in the 3rd frame. Here's how he did it.
Are they going to get that pin now? Yeah.
As they say, Chris,
Oh, yeah.
luck is the residue of design, and he designed a strike. Right now they're waiting for a pin in the channel, and really he can bowl on the right-hand lane, but this is disturbing on the left. He doesn't want anybody to jump down in front of him
Communication problem.
and have him disturb his concentration. Once again, a ruling comes in effect. If you're a PBA player, you cannot bowl a shot with the pin in the channel on your lane.
They're cheering the hook man.
If you would have to impact that pin with a pin or the ball, you would get 0 for the shot. So now here we go as the match is all even. 3rd frame, Voss with a chance to take the lead.
Don't even think about it!
Ooh.
That's right!
MPVCES.
Boy, he's become commandeering, commanding this whole show here. And Voss.
Well, you want to see what a 16-pound spheroid put against 3-pound, 6-ounce pins with a right-angle attack. It is destruction.
In the rope.
Brian doing our Wichita two-step for today's winner. This impressive glass trophy awaits. Who will it be, Voss or Bohn? We're in Wichita, home of some good friends of mine, the Vickers families. We look at those qualifying and match play round leaders. Sometimes telltale, tells you how they got here and what might happen.
18 games of qualifying, 24 in the finals, and Voss made the biggest charge. He was in 66th place with one qualifying round to go, and averaged 239 the rest of the way. Now he's got a 20-pin lead over our tournament leader, Parker Bohn, the third, fourth frame. Parker can cut that lead to 10.
No luck for a fourth and sixth round leader.
What's happening to Parker is something that often happens to right-handers. And when you see more lefties bowling, it happens to them also, because we had Ricky Ward on. Is oil carry down. Parker would have struck on that ball an hour ago. A little bit too much oil has made his ball ineffective from that angle.
This is his seventh appearance on television this year. He's had 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. He won back-to-back. He won the AC Delco Classic. Then moved over to Las Vegas and won at Showboat.
Parker only missed 3 spares in 42 games this week, and all 3 of them were 7 pins. Now, I'm not counting splits, but anything makeable, Parker made this week, except the 7.
What the shot?
All right, that came in the 5th frame. First time. But
The complete package, Chris, with the physical strength that is main asset. I think that his weightlifting and all his good training over the years have served him well, and he's really enjoying the fruition of all that work right now.
Stop at 4-pin.
So we have a 4-pin on the right lane for Brian Voss. This year he won in Richland, Washington, defeating Norm Duke.
The 4-pin. Voss, everything in perfect position as Parker Bohn thinks about what he must do. Watch Voss's setup, his push away, the length of his arm swing, and how solid he hits the line.
Oh! Fortunate just to leave him line.
All right. 1 instead of 2.
And what a big difference, huh, partner? If he leaves the 4-9, it's about a 6-to-1 odds that he'll make it. Gets a little love tap on the 4, has the 9 standing. With that spare, he will have a 30-pin lead with 4 frames remaining in the championship match.
This is our 13th week, a tour of 14 weeks. Professional Bowlers Tour next week, Bo, practically in your backyard.
St. Clair, Fairview Heights area, about 15 miles east of St. Louis, and the Arch.
He parked a double pin 56.
Right, we got the pep talk in now. By himself, Parker Bohn. The double up.
How Parker broke out of this 5-week slump he's had is basically, as you see Brian Voss putting some tape in his thumb hole, he basically changed his hand position, and he doesn't cuff the ball as much as he was earlier in the season, but he might want to do it here as there's oil carrying down the lane. A little bit more cuff will make it hook a little more. Yeah.
All right, that cuts the lead to just 10 pins here in the championship match.
Voss with that pinky all bandaged up from blisters. Underneath that, a Hall of Fame ring.
Ooh. Now, on the channel, that's as close as you can get, Bo.
You're right, Chris, and it's the spin actually that keeps it on the lane. Here's an absolutely perfect shot. Watch the inside swing. The ball is rotating towards the pocket. As my buddy Billy Walden used to say, turn the face of the ball towards the pin. And it's so important today on today's lane finishes and oils to have the ball towards the pins. You can't spin it or it skids too far. Now, Voss with a 10-pin lead can make it 20.
Out. Sick.
Solid 7. You don't see this very often. Fourth pin is driven straight back. It's a slightly high hit, almost imperceptible to the eye. It looks like an apparent good hit. But with that much power, oftentimes you'll drive one pin over the top of the other.
Very carefully, covers that 7 pin. Expressive Brian Voss. Parker with a spare up, and he is shooting in the all-important 9th frame.
All even. We haven't had a tie match in even the semifinal all year long. If we do have a tie for the championship, that will initiate a 2-frame roll-off. And beginning next year in 1998, the PBA has changed the rule to a 1-ball roll-off. As you see Brian Voss fiddling around with the tape in his thumb hole. Rather warm in here. And it's getting even hotter if Parker takes the lead with a strike here in the 9th.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, not again. That 3-7.
Again.
Disappointment written all over his face as he gets the ball a little wide. The right-handers complain of a little hang on this lane. Also, Parker Bohn ends up with some hang. He may take a run at this with a hard hook.
A lot at stake here for both, but for Parker with 2 wins this year, a third could just help him a lot toward Player of the Year honors, because he's the leading money winner up to now. But if Brian can win today, it'll be his 2nd win.
And a lot of other names in that hat, Chris. Pete Weber having a great year, Tim Chris, Steve Jaros, man, you can go right down the line.
There you see the money race for 1997.
And Webb and Duke, don't forget them. They're no slouches.
Yes, all-time Brian in 5th position.
Right now, Brian Voss, to win his 18th national championship, needs a spare and 6 pins, 10th frame.
Oh, just sank.
He won in February in Richland, Washington, over Norm Duke. Now equally tough, Parker Bohn the 3rd.
Well, when Brian Voss,
the gutter, no way.
when Brian Voss walked in this building, he said he's going to win the tournament, and he just did that.
Found a new line on that lane, Bo. New line.
That's the safety shot, Chris. He just didn't want to throw it in the gutter after he had the tournament won. He can finish with 227. I think he just could right down the middle, another rope. This title is Brian Voss's. Voss is boss.
226. All right, Parker Bohn the 3rd. Gracious in losing. And we will be
Awesome
back.
match. Hope you like and subscribe.